All right, welcome back, Flex members. Thank you for joining us. We have another Flex member of the month. Dina's here with us this month, and we're really excited to get to know a little bit about her. We're going to ask some questions, just kind of see how she's doing, check in with her, and we'll go ahead and kick it off here. So, Dina, just to start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Dina. I'm from Chicago. 45 years old, single, no kids. I live here alone with my little dog. See, I work as a lab technician in an oil refinery. I've been working there almost 15 years, actually. Um, I have a few passions. I love to cook. I love
Okay.
to, I love to travel. It's like I don't travel enough, but I do love to travel. I like to run. I've been running a lot lately. Uh,
Okay.
Nice.
yeah, and I like to,
Very.
no, what on?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You like to what?
No, I like to watch
Or
the stock market. That's why I joined the
Yeah, there we
program.
go. There we go.
uh, awesome, awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So next question. Good segue going into the next question. What was your
Okay.
experience in the stock market before joining Flex Financial Trading Group?
Okay. My experience, it was very choppy, to say the least. It was just actually when I look back, for example, I used to buy stocks, good stocks, and then when I got like just a little bit of profit, I'd sell them. So like I
Yeah.
remember the time I had like Disney for 118, and I think I
Mm,
sold it at like 130. Now look at it now, or Apple at
yeah. Yeah.
108, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
I was just really anxious in the stock market. I wasn't really sure. Didn't have a whole lot of confidence because it was pretty new to me, and
Yeah.
I just felt like I needed direction. I didn't like the fact that I was doing it unfocused, and I'm a very goal oriented person. So I wanted to, try to, get more focus into it.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah, you
awesome.
kind of were dabbling around. You didn't have a plan. It sounds like you were looking at some
Mhm.
good companies, but you just kind
Yeah.
of didn't have a plan for
Now
what you were doing, right?
I don't know. I was just like $100. Let me get my $100 out of here. I don't know. I just felt I
Let
felt
me get
very
that.
anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's actually pretty common. Like when you jump
Yeah.
into the stock market and you don't have any kind of plan or long-term goals of what you want to accomplish, you see
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
profit, you're like, I better take that. That's money on the table. I got to take it off. So that's
Yeah.
definitely very common. Back in the day when we were doing day trading, a very similar mindset. Like we were just trying to make any type of little profit we could instead of
Mhm.
having more of a long-term goal. So
Right.
this is very, very interesting that you said that there. Um,
Yeah.
so going on from that, what actually made you choose Flex University to choose to sign
Well,
up?
again, I was very goal oriented, and I felt like the way I was doing it wasn't gonna, obviously get me to my goals. But I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I don't know a whole lot about the stock market. So I believe it was Courtney posted something on Facebook, and I was like, well, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. That's the point I was at. I was at a point where I felt like I needed to do something to get more serious about it. And so
Yeah.
that's why I joined the Flex Financial Group.
Yeah. You were probably in one of the like the stock groups. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stock groups on
Yeah,
Facebook, but
it's a ton of
you were
yeah,
groups.
probably
there's
in one
tons
of
of
those
them.
groups. Were you kind of getting information from people in those groups and trying to follow along with some of the stuff that they were talking about, or just picking and choosing information and seeing what worked? Is that what you were doing at the time?
Well, yeah, the groups and YouTubers and stuff like that. Uh, but again, my risk, I don't have a huge risk tolerance. So a
Mhm.
lot of the
Yeah.
things that they were, pushing as far as like a lot of the YouTubers, I mean, it's okay to do that in a little small side account, but it's not something that I could just keep doing. They're too
Yeah.
volatile. They're too, they're not good stocks. So uh, like I said, I knew that wasn't going to get me where I wanted to go. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I can definitely
And
see
you,
that. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. And you mentioned goals. And Kevin and I, we're very goal oriented people as well.
Mhm.
And obviously in the program, we try to get you guys thinking about your goals, short term and long term
Mhm.
goals. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing some of the short term, long term goals you might have for yourself.
Okay. Well, when I first started, I had a short term goal of getting uh, a certain $50,000 in my account. I did that. My short, I'd say my short term goal, I would say 5 years. If I say 5 years is my short term goal, I would say
Mm,
that in 5 years, uh, in my long term account, including what I put into the account, I would like for it to at least, I would love for it to double in 5 years. Uh, in 10 years, I've got another plan, in 10 years, because that's when I'm would love to retire if I could, uh, would be to have a certain amount in my trading account and perhaps even double what I have in my long-term account at the time. So
mm,
yeah, I have numbers
mm.
set for my 5 year and my 10 year. Those are the goals I have.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to
Numbers
achieve.
goes, numbers goes. But once you get into retirement, what's some of the stuff you're gonna be doing in retirement?
Well, retirement, I'm hoping I've done real estate before. So I'm hoping I can
Oh,
get
okay,
into real
okay.
estate again. Uh, you know, when I get 55, the job offers a pension. So if I stay there 10
That's
more
good.
years, then I get my pension, and then I'm hoping I can have enough money to, invest in real estate and do the cover calls and have my long-term investments and perhaps build more on my dividend stocks and be able to get
Mm,
that residual income as well. So,
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I like the plan. I like the plan. I'm in a similar, my goals are the same. I'm trying to retire as soon as possible, get to my number, and then start
yeah,
doing the things I like to do. So
exactly.
I'm excited for you. Glad that you're setting those goals. And I have a couple questions. Do you feel like you're going to be able to achieve those goals? Using the Flex University system, and if so, how?
I definitely believe so for this, just at the rate that it's been growing so far. If I look at obviously the stock market, you have no idea what's going to happen. I accept that. But at the rate that it's been going so far, I believe, I'm pretty confident if I continue to put my money in there and continue to allow those long-term stocks to do what they do, then I should be able to reach those goals for my 5 and 10 year plan. My fingers are
Yeah.
crossed, and I'm doing whatever the best I can.
Yeah, no. I mean, everything I hear so far, you said you hit your first goal, which was to get to
Yeah.
50,000. You hit that.
Yes.
You're
Hmm.
on the right track. It sounds like your account is growing, so you're definitely moving in
Hmm.
the right direction. So it sounds like things are going well. So it's very exciting.
I'm happy.
It's good. It's
Even
good to
with the
have the fingers
correction.
crossed. What's
I'm
that?
sorry. Even with the correction, uh, I thought mine was bad with like 10% down, 12% down. Then I'm talking to some of my coworkers with mostly growth stocks and stuff like that. And they're like 50% down, 40% down. I'm just like, okay, let me quit complaining. Maybe this isn't so bad.
Yeah,
That's right. I'm not doing too bad compared to
Yeah,
them,
exactly.
yeah.
huh?
That's one of the
Well,
key things, we talk about that all the time is those Dow stocks, those dividend stocks, and the way that institutional traders will hold on to those shares. And so you don't see those huge dips. And also when it starts to come back, you're going to see that you start to get back to where you're at and surpass that more quickly. So yeah, you definitely, that's good to hear that you're kind of taking that and using it and you're starting to see the benefit of it because
Yeah,
like you said, the market is going to go up and down. It doesn't just go straight up. It's going to have its
exactly.
pullbacks, but as
Hmm.
long as you have your portfolio set to a way where you're not putting yourself, like you said, at a bunch of risk, and you don't have to deal with those swings that are going to be so drastic. So
Yeah.
definitely sounds like you're doing a good job there.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, shifting gears a little bit. So we talk about financial freedom, obviously in the Flex program.
Hmm.
That's the main goal of pretty much everybody in our group. And I want to ask you, what does financial freedom mean to you?
Well, uh, firstly, the job I have it can be pretty rough for the simple fact that it's 24-hour, 7 days a
Mhm.
week. They never shut a refinery down. So holidays, I'm at work, usually working overtime during the holidays. This weekend, I'm off this weekend, but just because I'm scheduled off this weekend doesn't necessarily mean I'll be off. If something happens or somebody calls in sick
Oh,
or, plans canceled, I got to go to work. So financial
yeah.
freedom would definitely, uh, be a load off of me as far as I can make plans. I know I'll be off. Holidays, I can be with my family and enjoy them and not be at work and I'm too tired to even come around. So financial freedom would definitely be a life change. It would change my life, considering the work that I do now.
Hmm. Yeah, sounds like it's pretty demanding,
Yeah.
what you do now. So I'm sure you're itching to get there as soon as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for opportunities, though.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be grateful, and
Yeah.
we're all in where we're supposed to be right now. But it's good to have those goals to get you to where you want to be. You know what I mean? We
Sure.
got to appreciate where we are, but don't lose sight of where you want to go, and so that's
Exactly.
key.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On top of having just the goals, having the actual plan in place to get you there. So you got your
Yeah.
goal set. Now you have a plan and a strategy to actually get you there. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a good
It's
thing as
light.
well.
It's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
that's exactly what when starting Flex Financial, what Kevin and I had kind of talked about is what we're trying to provide is people the reality of financial
Mhm.
freedom. Like this can happen
Right.
for you. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not a far-fetched thing anymore. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's the tools, here's the strategies, here's what you need to do. Now it's up to you to get there, but this is
Hmm.
how it's truly, truly, truly attainable. Like people talk
Right.
about it like it's a myth. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
Right.
what we've been
Exactly.
able to do is,
Sure.
yeah,
Mhm.
provide and make it a reality for you with the strategies and tools that we share with you guys. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
So we'll go ahead and switch gears again. So that is kind of like my favorite part about Flex University is that's actually helping people and kind of providing a plan. But we'd like to know what is your favorite thing about Flex University in the course so far?
Well, my favorite thing, I like the idea that there's the short-term, monthly goals and also long-term goals. I mean, it just keeps you
Mhm.
interested. It keeps you interested. I mean, it's one thing to put stocks into buy a bunch of good stocks and just let them grow, and that's great. I'm not, but it's also it keeps it interesting when with the cover calls and the volatility trading, and like I told you, I don't really do a whole lot of that, but with the cover calls, uh, it keeps it kind of interested in the stuff. It's not just boring, just buy some stocks and keep it there. So
Yeah.
actually, that's my favorite part,
Awesome.
and the program,
Mhm.
allows that.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah,
we haven't had
like the
anybody
action.
put it that way. Yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't
She
had
wants some
anybody
market
put it
action.
that way.
She
Like,
wants.
but I can see that, putting your money into stocks and just letting it sit there and never doing anything, just looking at
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
numbers changing here and there. I can see
Yeah.
that. But yeah, you got the cover calls where you get to take in that, weekly, monthly income, and then you can use that for what you want, or you can use
Exactly.
it in the program and put it into your long term. So
Mhm.
yeah, I like that. I think I will use it. We have some things for people that want to be a little more active and kind of stay in tune with it.
Exactly. And then also the risk is low. I mean, you can take,
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
courses that require you to, more risk, and like I
Sure.
said, my risk tolerance probably isn't high as, some other people. And, that's just how I am. So that's why another reason why I like the program. It
Yeah.
tries to manage risk as much as possible.
Yeah. It's a conservative approach to what we do, but with a lot of upside though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So you
Yeah,
still get that,
exactly. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
upside of as if you
Hmm.
were taking bigger risks. You still get
Sure.
that upside there, but it's more of a conservative approach to doing it. So
Yeah. And, and,
yes,
and
it's a
and you get the better upside because of the monthly income that you can do with the cover calls and the volatility trades and the leaps
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's awesome to hear how tuned in you are. I just like, I just like she was just right there. I got it. I'm using the cover calls. I know what I'm doing. So
grinning ear to ear over there.
Yeah.
Grinning ear to ear.
Yeah, I get excited when we have these calls, man.
All right, I got the next question. So, kind of along the same lines of the last question, but is there a favorite strategy that you've learned within the FlexU course so far?
Of course, the cover calls. I think cover calls. I even have a friend that's a tax guy. He does the taxes accountant. He's a tax accountant. And I was explaining to him cover calls. He had never even heard of cover calls. And, he's involved in the stock market and he never even heard of it. So I think it's strange. A lot of people that haven't heard of cover calls, it does require a lot of capital.
Sure.
I think if you're going to do it right. So maybe that's part of the reason, but I love them. I think they're great. And and what I think so great about them is that the probability of just losing. I mean, I've examined every angle with the cover call, and I'm like, how could I mess up? And I mean, even with the correction, if you're just patient, the worst you can do is just sell it for, to break even. And if that's just something if you want to do, but I'm actually pretty glad that we had this correction because it put me in another mindset as far as how I would deal with cover calls in the future.
Yeah. That's a good point. I always try to make that point with people too when we talk about it. It's like it's very difficult to lose money selling cover calls, especially when you're doing it. If you're following the program like how we're sharing, to do them, you're doing them on quality companies that you actually don't mind holding. You know what I mean?
I don't cover calls on anything, on any stock that I don't own, actually.
Yeah. And when you do it like that, then you feel confident. You feel okay.
Right.
When the market corrects, you're not like losing sleep like that, and you're not nervous about it because you're like, hey, I'm in a quality company. Your cover call is somebody else's long-term hold. You know what I mean? It can be that because they qualify. Principle-wise, they qualify as a long-term hold or a short trade, whatever your preference is. Exactly. So that's the beauty of how we teach those cover calls. Yeah.
And also, I like what you said about you in this pullback, learning how you would deal with this in the future with your cover calls, because the more you get into the cover calls and writing them and kind of seeing how the market will pull back, it's a skill. You're going to get more and more skilled at it, and you'll be able to kind of see what you want to do. You'll know when you need to go a little bit further out. You'll know when you can go a little bit, more out of the money. There's some different things, and you'll just get better and better at it. So you're exactly right. And different things that happen in the market, it's just going to make you better, and you're going to keep increasing what you're able to do within your account.
Yeah.
Dina, let me ask you, because you're a little more advanced, than some of the other members and been with us for a while. Have you gotten into leaps at all? We haven't heard you talk about leaps. We never talked about it. Just curious. Do you trade leaps?
I haven't got into leaps, but I will. I've decided I want. I believe it was the last video you guys posted about the quarter to quarter leaps that that the earnings, following the earnings. I was like, oh, that's a good idea, but I was thinking I'd just kind of wait till the market gets a little bit better or a little bit more, less, frothy. And then I definitely want to start those.
Yeah. No, that's a great training that Kev did on that with the Q to Q. I agree too. It's kind of a weird, I feel like the market's trying to get its footing right now. So it's probably not the best time for that, but it's a strategy to keep in the back pocket for sure.
Yeah. Because I see a lot of good stocks that for some reason they fall right after earnings.
Yes. Yeah. We've had that conversation a lot. And I was like, no matter what happens, you have good earnings, good news, bad news, stock market's going to fall a little bit. And then it'll start picking back up. And it's weird how it does seem to do that. We talk about that and kind of joke about it all the time. We'll have a company that we really like, have great numbers, and you're like,
Yeah,
why is it pulling back? I don't,
yeah,
you know. But it'll give it a
Yeah.
little time. It'll start moving forward.
exactly. Right. Yep.
A lot of times when that happens, you'll notice that they kind of go on a little bit of run a week or two
Oh
before
yeah.
their earnings. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean? And
that's when you
then
can. That's when you can sell your leaps.
yeah, yeah. And it's just the Wall Street, you know, messing with everybody. That's all,
Of
shaking
course.
out the
Yeah.
scare. That's
Exactly.
all it is.
Exactly. You don't want to
Yep.
make it easy. You got to think. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you start noticing and picking up on stuff as you get
Yeah.
that experience. That's great. You picking up on that though.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So
Yep.
we talked about cover calls. We had a few questions. So I'll get to the last one here. And the last question here, Dina, is: would you recommend this program to a family friend or family member? And if so, why?
Oh yeah, I have. I've told everybody in my family knows I'm in this program, and I try to talk people into the stock market. But a lot of my friends and family, they're kind of leery about the stock market. Like I said, my brother, I was telling Kevin earlier, my brother is in the stock market. It's kind of pulled me into it more because of how much money he made. Uh,
Yeah.
and I've been telling him about cover calls and stuff like that, but he's more traditional. He's like, I'll just, buy my stocks. I'll just buy more Tesla. Just keep buying Tesla and Tesla.
Okay. Tesla guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no,
How's he
that's
doing
awesome.
this year? How's he doing this year? Is he
Well,
really talking
Tesla.
to
Well, he had Tesla years ago, so Tesla's made him a millionaire. So
Oh, okay.
I can't blame
Yeah.
him
Awesome.
for supporting Tesla so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
Stock
working.
makes me millions. I'm gonna love it too.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
That's
So
right. Yeah. Go ahead, Kev. You gonna wrap it up?
yeah. So thank you. We appreciate you definitely recommending us, telling people about us, and we appreciate that. But really, we're just excited that you're having a good time in the program.
Yeah.
We thank you for spending some time with us tonight, getting to know us a little bit, answering some questions. So yeah, we just want to say thank you, and we hope to hear
No
from you as
problem.
we continue moving on. And we'll check in with you on a weekly basis.
All right. Cool. All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dina.
All right,
We
thanks.
All right.
appreciate you.
Take care. Bye bye.